Let's be real. Temptation is everywhere. Whether it's lust, anger, gossip, comparison, addiction, or something else, none of us are immune. And if we're honest, most of the time, we don't fall into temptation by accident. It starts when we let our guard down, when we ignore the small red flags, or when we get too close to the edge thinking, I got this. But here's the truth. None of us are as strong as we think we are. That's why boundaries matter. They're not about being weak, they're about being wise. So how do we set boundaries that actually protect us? 1. Be honest about your triggers. The first step is honesty. What are the areas where you struggle the most? What environments, people, or habits pull you away from God? You can't fight what you won't face. If late-night scrolling leads you into temptation, that's a trigger. If certain conversations make you bitter or angry, that's a trigger. If being alone with that person causes you to compromise, that's a trigger. God isn't asking you to be perfect. He's asking you to be honest. Honesty opens the door to freedom. 2. Pray for strength. Then make a plan. Yes, prayer is powerful. Ask God for the strength to resist temptation, but don't stop there. Even Jesus, in his humanity, said to his disciples in Matthew 26:41, "Watch and pray, so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." Jesus didn't say just pray. He said watch and pray. That means be alert, be aware, be proactive, make a plan. If your temptation is online, install filters or take breaks from social media. If your struggle is with your temper, give yourself space when you feel it rising. If certain people are pulling you away from your walk with God, you may need to create distance. Boundaries don't make you selfish, they make you spiritually healthy. 3. Don't wait until you're in the middle of it. One of the biggest mistakes we make is waiting until we're knee-deep in temptation before we try to resist. But by that time, we've already compromised mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The key is to set boundaries before the moment of temptation. Decide in advance. I won't stay up late scrolling on certain apps. I won't be alone in that environment. I won't engage in that conversation. When you already know your limits, you won't have to make decisions in the heat of the moment. You'll already have clarity, and clarity leads to strength. 4. Stay accountable. God didn't design us to walk this road alone. If you're serious about setting boundaries, find someone you trust who will hold you accountable. It could be a friend, a mentor, a pastor, or even a group. Temptation thrives in secrecy, but it loses power in the light. James 5:16 says, "Confess your sins to one another and pray for one another, that you may be healed." There's healing in community. You don't have to tell everyone your struggles, but you should tell someone. 5. Remember, boundaries are not just to keep you from something. They're to keep you for something. God isn't trying to take your fun or your freedom. He's trying to protect your purpose. The boundaries he leads you to set are not just about avoiding sin, they're about stepping into life. Romans 6:12 says, "Do not let sin control the way you live. Do not give in to sinful desires." When we honor God with our boundaries, we make room for his blessings. Peace replaces chaos. Clarity replaces confusion. Purpose replaces pain. So today, I challenge you, be honest about your weaknesses, set real boundaries, talk to someone you trust, and don't just try to avoid temptation, run toward the life God is calling you to. Because holiness isn't about being perfect, it's about being set apart. And every boundary you build is a step closer to the freedom God designed you for.